We're going to make plays. We're going to play hard. We're going to do what we got to do. O-line, D-line, toughness, 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 toughness.
Hey, Buckeye Nation. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast, your only commercial-free Ohio State football podcast. These guys were born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcast. Now, pour a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick.
It's done!
All right, let's do it. What is up? We are back tonight on tonight's show. Shawn is back with us after his liposuction surgery. Shawn, how you doing?
Doing great, man.
Yeah, it wasn't lipo. I'm just kidding. Shawn is probably the fittest. Well, maybe one of the top three fittest of us three. As always, you guys realize we're almost at the end of season 6 of this goddamn podcast. I don't know if anybody realized that. You guys didn't. I know the rest of the public didn't. So as always, hit the supply store. We got free shipping. I'm extending the free shipping through the regular season. So get in there.
There you go.
Get your Beat Sparty shirts now. You got to get those before the game. You can't wait till the week of the game and think you're going to get a Beat Sparty shirt. It's not going to happen. Right? So, and
Sparty fucked it up, you know. Your sales probably have been double on the Beat Sparty had they not. Whatever, I'm sure we'll get to that.
Oh, that's on the list, pal. And don't forget, obviously, we have a plethora of different varieties of Beat Michigan shirts. Make Michigan your bitch again. We hate Michigan. You know, all the usual hits. So you got to order those soon. Otherwise, you're not going to get them. We're going to run out before the week of the game. So keep looking on that. And like I mentioned, free shipping. And our Facebook T-shirt giveaway winners. I just shipped out 2 shirts this week to my guys, Douglas and Daryl. They should be getting their shirts in a matter of days. And our other 2 winners I haven't heard from. I reached out to them, Marcia Hale and Thomas Huggins. Folks, you got to hit me up or you're losing out on a free shirt. So please reach out on Facebook. Go to the website, use the contact form. There's a phone number there. There's 5 different ways you can get a hold of me. I want to make sure you get your shirts. Because like we said last week, right, Jeff? We're about the people.
We are about the people.
We like keeping the people happy.
Give them what they want.
Yep. And they want more.
Give them the shirts.
They want more Buckeye Cast. So that's why we're here.
Why we're here.
Yep. All right, quick bourbon talk, folks. Shawn, I'm not sure you want to talk about bourbon.
I got a little bit to say about it.
You go right ahead.
I was actually supposed to be in Louisville this weekend with some familiar faces doing some bourbon trail stuff, but my current situation kept me from that. But my wife is in the area, and I know she's a little bit slick, but she's got some serious loot heading back north tomorrow for Daddy. So I know there's some Eagle Rare and some Willet and some other things sprinkled in there. So I will be, there's stuff in my purview. So next week I'll take some pictures and send you what she hooked me up with.
Perfect.
But I haven't tried any.
All right. So I don't want to dig too deep into your wife's bourbon trail hunting, but I assume this is a trip you guys had planned well before your surgery, and she just followed through with it?
That is correct.
Okay. I'm super jealous, so I would, yeah. What does Jans know about bourbon is my question. my first question. Let's not get into that. We'll see.
Well, I'll bet you he knows probably fuck a lot more than me now because they went on 2 or 3 tours. I don't think they got into the Buffalo Trace tour, but they did go visit. But they didn't get one of the tours or whatever. I don't know what those tours are all about. I think if you've seen one, you've probably seen them all, right?
I don't know.
Barley, wheat, rye, barrels. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the tastings are why most people go.
Right. That's what I would do. Like if I could get a bottle of Taste Buffalo at the place and then get a bottle of it to go.
I don't know if you can buy a bottle right there, dude.
Well, you're right. A lot of those counties are dry in Kentucky. So they don't actually sell it.
There's one place that was close to where they were staying. They were staying at the Omni in downtown Louisville. And like one of the places, it must be a big bourbon store or something. They basically said they had anything you want. You want Stag, you want Pappy, whatever. They got it. But the prices are just so out of the realm. You know, you're familiar with the big bottle of Buffalo, Joe. And our other friend Joe had bought one at a small liquor store that was on the shelf for $50 for the big was it half gallon or whatever that is, the big boy. And they went to this place that has everything, same bottle, $150.
Whoa.
So
They're hitting the tourists up. They're taxing the tourists.
Exactly. They're getting the people coming in there that'll throw down, $1,000 for some George T. Stag.
See, that's fucked up. I don't like that. Because I buy a 750 of Buffalo out of California, different liquor stores for like, including shipping per bottle, about $5. So a total of $27 for a 750. And they're charging $150 for a 1.75.
Yep.
That's fucked up, man. That's now I might not ever go there. I'm not getting gouged like that.
Again, it's that one place, and again, it's a place that they've got everything because they charge you an arm and a leg, and they're not parting with their stuff unless you want to,
I get it.
give them exorbitant amounts. But yeah, it fucks up the free market. It does. I don't love it.
Yeah.
But it is a free market, so they can do what they want. They own it.
Sure. Yeah. And it's like going to Disney.
I was just going to say, Joe,
Kissimmee, Florida wouldn't be there if it weren't for Disney.
Damn you, Disney.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's jump into this fucking Nebraska game that we're also pumped to talk about. Right off the top, we should rename this show to the Jaxon Smith-Njigba show because 15 catches sets the new Buckeye record. That's fucking impressive. So to kind of tag team on that, do you guys think that CJ missed Garrett Wilson?
Yeah.
I did.
I do.
Yeah. That's rhetorical.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe.
I don't know. I think I'm more aggravated with our inability to run the ball as we need to than in the passing game. But the passing game didn't look great either. And you look, it was he finished 370 yards, something like that. Stroud
passing 405.
Yeah, I didn't think it looked. I didn't think it was strong.
Okay, I think the last time I looked, it was 3. Okay, so if 405 didn't look, it wasn't a good looking 405 in my opinion.
It's hard to make 405 look bad too.
But I mean, yeah, but in Njigba, that 75-yarder was a thing of beauty.
That was
that's just him catching, making his guy break his, or tear his knees in half and down the sideline. So I don't know. I miss Garrett Wilson. I do. I think it shows. If his replacement, Julian Flint, why did we not even? We shut him out almost the whole first half. We didn't even look at him. And there was some deep breaking routes he had with Olave breaking under, and he's 5 yards from his dude. And CJ wasn't even a look.
I think it's a
know.
comfortability factor. That's why I think, you got a young quarterback. This is only his 8th game. Not making excuses, but let's deal in reality.
How many reps is he? I'm guessing he's doing plenty. He's had plenty of reps with Fleming. All of them.
I don't know. I wouldn't assume that. They are not first stringers, The ones roll with the ones, twos roll with the twos. Maybe Kyle McCord has a better,
Sure.
I don't know, rapport with Fleming, but that's just my thought off the top.
Well, I mean, I was disappointed. I was really excited when I found out. I mean, you hear Garrett Wilson's gonna be out, you're like, damn. But then I'm so super happy for Fleming getting a chance. I'm hoping he has a really good game. They try to, see what he can do. Give him some action. See how he's playing.
What do you think, Shawn?
We didn't give him an action.
Yeah.
No, I mean, kind of the same. What he ended up with 2 catches or something like that. Not bad. I think both were like on the sideline as he was going out of bounds, maybe when Stroud was rolling out in a little bit of trouble. So that was maybe good to see. I know one of them was at least like that, bailing out his quarterback a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, with Smith-Njigba, I mean, those numbers are amazing. That was awesome. But I think if Wilson's in the game, those numbers aren't quite as inflated like that. And just to let me say something on this 400-yard passing, I've got to maybe go back and look, but to me it looks like C.J. Stroud is kind of throwing off his back foot and a lot, not setting his feet and throwing the ball.
Well, I would say the O-line was a major issue for this game, and not just pass but run. So maybe that's part of it. But yeah, I agree. He had to roll out of the pocket quite a bit. Yeah.
Even in the pocket, I feel like he's almost kind of like jumping back, throwing half the time.
Yeah. Yeah. We had some major O-line shuffling going on. Do you guys want to give me your one big thing quickly for this week? You have one big takeaway, Shawn?
Well, I'm going to let Jeff go because I'm going to steal his thunder if I don't. Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. The one big takeaway from the game in this weekend is it's because of what else happened in the standings, we're probably going to move up in the rankings, which is amazing to me that we have a flat game like that against a team. That's a really good 3-6 team, though, I think.
Agree.
But I think the thing is we're going to play flat, and we're still going to end up moving up in the rankings. I think we move up to 4. Spoiler alert.
November's 4 contenders. What do you think, Shawn?
That wasn't my one thing. My one big thing. Again, good win against a good team, but the O-line play was, to me, it's not good enough. It is not good enough right now.
Correct.
And we're talking about, future NFL tackles all the way across that line, and it's just not good enough. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't know if, you're missing, to get the run game going, if they're missing those, 6'1", 6'2", road grade guards, that are low and push. I feel like a lot of people are slipping by these guys, and just a lot of resistance at the line of scrimmage for Travion. A lot of resistance.
Yeah.
Almost. So our three interior left tackles are maybe not reacting to the quickness of the interior defensive linemen. It makes sense because we do have 5 left tackles on the field. Almost, I'd say.
Yeah.
Wypler's pretty much more like a center, but
they were doing a lot of shuffling actually. Dewan Jones.
They're experienced. They're experienced.
Dewan Jones had a stomach bug before the game, so he was in and out of the lineup. And obviously they bring in Matthew Jones, and so they have to reshuffle the line every time. I don't know why they do this, but so like they almost revert to last year's lineup where Thayer goes out to left tackle. NPF goes over to right tackle. Matt Jones comes in
Plays
for
the left guard.
right. And so they completely reshuffle the line. So basically, if you also had MPF, he missed a couple of practices this week dealing with an injury. So you got these, when two of your linemen are in and out of the lineup, that completely changes how your line is going to operate. So,
Of course.
that was the main issue. Paris Johnson probably had his worst game from what I saw. I saw guys blowing by him. That Still guy, I believe he's a 5th or 6th year senior, I don't remember, but he's definitely an NFL draft pick. He was blowing by Paris occasionally. So, yeah, O-line was a big deal, and the constant shuffling of trying to get Dewan in there, trying to get MPF in there, it was like almost every series was a different O-line configuration from what I saw. My big thing, though, just to finish our big things, is the defense. Third downs, 2 of 13 they held Nebraska to. 2 of 13 third down conversions. That's fucking awesome, man. Love it. So, let's jump into the rest of this offensive kind of debacle, I would say. We had, on third downs, we were 9 of 19, really predictable, seemingly in the play calling. Red zone, we were 1 of 3 on TDs. Ruggles is now our new team MVP. It makes me want to fucking throw up on this microphone. Play calling and lack of balance. I mean, we had 54 pass plays to 30 rush plays.
And what did our 30 rush plays bring us?
I can tell you that. It brought us 90 yards rushing.
Are you fucking kidding me? 90 yards rushing.
With sack yardage, yeah. The 2 sacks. Just 2 sacks.
But yeah, if you would have said, hey, how many yards do you think Trey got? I'd say total, maybe 100 catching and running. But
he had 92, and then he had a couple catches. He had 6 for 44, actually. Thought it was less than that. But anyways.
That's not the best D-line we're going to see all year, I don't think. They're good.
Yeah.
But Michigan State, both. I mean, Michigan probably the best D-line we'll face all year. Yeah. Penn State's was okay. I think Michigan's is better. I don't know. Yeah, you're right, Joe. I think you nailed it. Paris Johnson did have his worst game, where first time I ever noticeably saw him getting beat and trailing plays. So I think you're dead on there. All the reconfigurations, I guess I didn't catch so much of that during the game, but it looked like it. We gotta. I don't know. Injuries are injuries. Everybody deals with them, but there's got to be more continuity. If it's not talent, so maybe it is just continuity. But if a guy's beating you in front of you, if a guy right over your face is beating you, that's a pride thing. You know what I mean?
I guess at some point, but if you're still getting beat,
none of those boys are outmanned. You know what I mean?
No. I mean,
you got to beat them. We got to whoop the man in front of you. I mean, sometimes it's what it is. What it is.
What do you think, Shawn? Does lack of balance bother you?
Not necessarily, but you can't commit to the run. The Ohio State can't commit to the run with this O-line and Travion Henderson and these receivers. They got to keep the secondaries honest. It just anytime we can't run the ball, I'm, in the words of Harbaugh, I'm bitterly disappointed. And there's no fucking reason we can't run a football. And anytime that happens, then I want to torch you for a bunch of stuff over the top. We didn't do that. Yeah, we got the 400 yards. We did it on a bunch of stuff out the Travion, a bunch of stuff that Jaxon Smith-Njigba made you look amazing, a bunch of stuff where you're rolling out and there's guys, one step into the sideline. But that secondary, we weren't blowing by them all day. And if they're selling out to stop our run, the scary part is maybe they weren't selling out to stop our run, and we can't run against a regular front. So, I don't know.
That's why I asked you guys up front if CJ missed having Garrett Wilson around, because we only had seemingly one or two guys to make them pay for selling out on the run. And we actually ran some RPOs. So,
but even so, who in the country has an Olave and Smith-Njigba? Who gives a shit about the third guy and then throw in a Rucker? We still got the dudes to make you stay honest.
Right. I agree. We have plenty of weapons. I'm not saying there's a shortage of that. We ran some RPOs, and fucking Stroud even ran a couple zone reads where he kept it. And I think he ended up with 2 rushes for 7 yards. So take that. I guess I tell you guys every fucking week that Coach Day listens to this show because we see him take these notes like CJ needs to run more. I said last week, CJ ran more. He ran twice.
I don't think CJ looks good running the ball at all.
He's not comfortable.
That option on 3rd and 1 or 4, whatever,
right,
at the beginning of the game, horrible play call. That looked like 2 people that haven't run the option together ever.
Maybe in spring ball.
The simple rule, the main simple rule: quarterback attacks the edge, defender.
Yeah.
You drive right to him and make him commit.
Yeah, right.
He took a sidestep, and then the guy just was able to float and be athletic and tackle him. It looked like he never ran it before. It looked it looked elementary. This
quote after the game might give you a little more positive energy. CJ Stroud on not running the ball. If my job was to run the ball, I'd be a running back or something. I throw the ball for a living. That's a quote.
Well, okay. I guess so. We have that to deal with.
So that sounds like something Coach Day has told him. That sounds like he's regurgitating something.
If I wanted you to run the ball, you'd be a fucking running back.
Yeah. Kind of the anti-Urban Meyer, where you're going to line up and run QB power 20 times, JT.
Yeah. Every 3rd and 2, yeah, they know it's coming. And yeah, they can't stop it because it's fucking JT. Yeah, Stroud's not going to bowl you for 4 yards every 3rd and 3.
Right.
I get it. He doesn't look, I don't know. It doesn't look comfortable or smooth when he's out, in the open at all. Like he doesn't look like he doesn't run like he's not comfortable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he gets in the opening, he's like, "Oh, I don't think I'm supposed to be here."
Yeah.
But more like Haskins.
Shawn, what do you think about this 405? You think this is kind of shades of the Oregon game where he threw for 385 or something like that? And let me tell you where I'm coming from with this question. I think the play calling, Ryan Day gets into his comfort zone is throwing the ball, not running the ball, where, a lot of teams, especially in the old days, would get conservative and kind of shell up and run the ball, where I think Ryan Day's comfort zone is throwing the ball. You think that he gets, like we saw with the Big Ten championship game last year when Sermon was going off, and he refused to run him until like the fourth quarter, late third, early fourth, and everybody, all of us watching the game are like, run the fucking ball. And you think there's something to this Ryan Day kind of mentality of just throwing to get comfortable?
Well, he definitely likes to use his, short passing game as a pseudo run game. With the Olave
True.
touchdown and the short
Yeah, yeah.
stuff, and we do that often, going on third and short, little outs and things like that. So I think there is a comfort level with that. I think he probably feels, hey, it gives my quarterback some confidence as well. But I mean, we're Ohio State, man. And again, back to my thing, we're Ohio State. We got all NFL linemen across there, and we got one of the best backs in the country. What are we saying that we're not going to run the ball in this spot?
Yeah, I understand.
But yeah, C.J. Stroud with the 2 picks, and he threw another one of those fucking picks on the sideline, which is basically a throwaway ball, and he doesn't, and it gets picked right on the sideline. He's done that at least twice now this year.
Yeah, he forced a lot in that first quarter too.
And on that interception, he was staring down Njigba the whole time. He never took his eyes off of him.
That's one of his major issues to me, is not basically going through his progressions and sometimes just going to the first option. It's really frustrating.
But you look at the yardage and everything. It's just because we have great athletes he's throwing to. I don't think he made a high percentage of high level throws. You know what I mean? And was just carving people.
Jaxon was open all day though. I mean, you didn't require great throws.
To be honest with you, I think it was something just about that field, because it seemed like anybody that ran in between the numbers was always wide open, because Nebraska's guys were running open down the hash marks all day long as well.
Okay. So it's about field configuration.
Maybe they got something figured out there in the corn. I don't know.
Right, I doubt that. So rushing the ball, we mentioned Travion only with 92 yards on 21 rushes. Didn't really get some good push until the late third, early fourth, where he got the bulk of his yards. Yeah, I think he had like 40 yards at halftime on a ton of carries. Teague, Miyan, I don't know why we're not seeing more of them. They had a combined 3 carries between them.
I know.
So guys, let's look at it this way. 4 weeks ago, we were saying more Travion. Now we're saying, why so much Travion?
Well,
if you're just going to run Travion into a brick wall, I think Master Teague and Miyan Williams are better equipped to run into brick walls. And to me, it's all what you're calling and what you're trying to do. And I thought the run game that they were going with mostly probably would have benefited from Teague and Williams, at least with some of those carries. I mean, Travion was 21. How about we get Travion down to 15 and throw another 3 on both those guys at least.
At least, yeah. And I think I would have used Teague a lot.
27 carries.
Right. I think I would have used Teague a lot more in those short yardage situations. I'm not sure Travion's the best for that situation. Am I crazy?
There needs to be. I think there needs to be more carries overall. Keep Trey at your 18 to 20 carries, but you can also have another 15 carries, 18 carries. We can achieve 405 with 15 more run plays.
That was 54 passes, by the way. Probably don't want to do that every week.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. We can get our 405 on a nice, 32 attempt night. Yeah. So we got just hitting the place, but execution.
Let's give the defense some love after we focused on the offense here for a bit. Let's go, Shawn. Who is your defensive MVP?
My defensive MVP. Gosh. I don't know. I'm trying to think now. I'm brain dead here. not. How about my LVP?
Okay.
You had kind of bitched about Lathan Ransom on that long touchdown.
Sure
I
did.
think it was Shaw that deserved some of that as well. Shaw got sucked way over the other side as the
Yes.
safety out there.
Okay.
And
Ransom was supposed to have him in the middle.
but if Shaw was there and Shaw wouldn't have bailed to come up and try and make a ESPN play where he thought the ball was going to go, and just stayed home and played his position a little better, that play's completely different. Hell, he might have been in a spot to get a pick. He didn't shoot so far up there and to the left.
I got you. That makes sense. I agree. I think on that play, Shaw is the reason it went 75. Jeff, what do you got?
If you're going to make me pick, I'll say my guy Steel Chambers coming back in for a half after staying and then getting a pick. So.
All right. I agree with that. Jeff, who do you have for your defensive MVP?
I think I'm going to say Tyreek Smith.
Oh, stealing my thunder.
I think Tyreek Smith, he played a hell of a game. Looked great. Was moving. I saw him chasing the quarterback all the way to the sideline.
He's been
Martinez,
a nightmare since he came back, man.
Right. I think it's like we're seeing like what we thought we would hope we would see by his third year or something like that.
Right.
So hopefully he stays healthy because Harrison didn't look bad either. I'm not that's one play or one series we had Harrison get the sack one side, Baptiste got the sack from the other side, back to back, big momentum shift. Unfortunately, we didn't do shit with it, but no, defense overall, I think defensive line in general played great.
I'm right there with you. I went with Zack just because I had Tyreek last week. Zack with 5 tackles, a sack, and a TFL. I had 5 guys with sacks. You got Zack, Tyreek, Ronnie Hickman got credited with a sack, JJB, and Jack Sawyer even got in there and got a sack.
He was pumped too. He was pumped as shit when he got that.
Yeah,
good for him. 8
TFLs.
I was gonna say JTT played a good game too. I thought.
Yeah.
He's an impact player, which is nice because you just mentioned 5 defensive ends.
Yeah, well,
no defensive tackles getting sacks.
I didn't see a lot of Tyreek again.
Good.
I don't know what's going on with him. It's kind of concerning. I saw him in there, but not a lot of production, and I think it was limited reps for some reason. I'm not sure why, but like I mentioned, on the defense, they held Nebraska to 2 of 13 on third downs, which is fucking insane. Held them to 360 yards. These guys are typically cranking out some offensive yardage. And the big thing that stood out to me, I want you guys to think about this and tell me what you think. More Steel Chambers, and in the first half, we saw a lot of EA, Paliate, and less Taraja. I saw Taraja in there for limited snaps. He wasn't even on the fucking stat sheet. What do you think, Shawn?
Yeah.
Really? He did not show up on the stat sheet?
Not a tackle.
With Steel Chambers out the first half? That's pretty amazing. I didn't
you are
watch
correct.
that close.
I think EA was in there for Taraja in the first.
I remember seeing 3 in there a few plays. I remember one where I saw him running around. Like, where the hell's he going?
He was just running around. Yeah.
That's concerning, man. I'm looking forward to my header going off.
Yeah, I know. So EA was in there. I'd like to see him get more reps since he kind of got fucked out of his fall camp because of the NCAA not approving him until like the Thursday before the fucking season started. And Steele, obviously, I think Steele is going to really be stealing reps going forward. I think EA comes in more heavy and goal line situations. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out going forward, and Taraja kind of falling off, really. Separate topic. Quickly, I want to finish this Nebraska game. We got a ton of shit to get into. I want to thank Scott Frost for his horrible game management skills. Appreciate you. You and James Franklin are all-timers, Hall of Famers.
In a league of their own.
In the poor game management area. You guys, I don't know if you can't see the fucking scoreboard from where you're at or what, but typically it's really large and at one of the end zones, right or left, depending on where you're at. Tells you what the down and distance and amount of time and score in the game. So you guys might want to check that out. For some reason, Frosty's he's kicking field goals, dude.
Frosty gets a bad rap as far as I'm concerned. I think he's doing a lot now with less. I think that team plays hard for him. I think Nebraska is going to make a mistake and get rid of him, and really go in the shit. I mean, unless there's an absolute bona fide Urban Meyer stud that you can hire to coach that team, I think Scott Frost is on the right track. Results haven't seen it yet, but he's close. He's real fucking close. He played, Michigan State, and us to real close games. And, he will lay an egg. He's probably not the best in-game guy, but hopefully learning as he goes. Yeah, and Oklahoma as well. To be in those games, you're doing something right. And again, most of the teams, maybe not Michigan State, but have more talent than you.
Well, we were the first team this year to beat them by more than 8. We beat them by 9. Thank you very much.
So and it sets up well for Frost. If Nebraska gets rid of Frost, that's going to be a mistake by Nebraska.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Nobody gets credit for this week's score since we weren't even close. I had 52-16. Jeff had 45-13. Shawn, you're closest with 0.
I had 26-17.
Yeah, I know. You win. You win
this week.
Nice. All right, so let's jump into this Purdue game. Then we got to jump into some this week in football. We got the Boilers coming to town 3:30 in the shoe. Excuse me. On ABC. Jeff Brom in his 5th year. They're 6-3. By the way, PFF had them at 4.6 wins for the season. Definitely beat that. In the Big Ten, they're 4-2. They beat Sparty pretty handedly. I mean, the first half was a dogfight, but they came out raring in that second half. And Aiden O'Connell, who is this fucking guy? I never even heard of him before this year. This guy is slinging it.
Yeah, he does.
Fuck. So yeah, they roasted Sparty 40-29. Again, another guy that throws 54 passes in a day, but he goes for 536. David Bell, Jesus, he's putting up Jaxon Smith-Njigba numbers, going for 217 on 11 catches and a touchdown. This guy, he's a beast.
That's his second 200-yard game this year, I believe. Second or third, possibly. Yeah, dude's for real. I mean,
yeah.
And we have a knack for making one of their receivers look like a Hall of Famer. This guy might be one anyways. So
something about this team, though, they like playing highly ranked teams. They'll fucking lay down for a Notre Dame and get smoked early in the year, but then as they move into their season, they'll fucking beat Iowa at Iowa 24-7.
Yeah.
They'll beat on, like we just said, Michigan State, but they also beat Nebraska at Nebraska. These guys, I don't know. maybe they just need a few weeks of preseason to get rolling. But this offense is insane, man. They're putting up 410 yards a game. That's 48th in the country. Passing, they are 6th in the country with 330 passing. Rushing, don't want to talk about that because they're 25th in the country. 125th, sorry. There's a 1 in front of that 25. They throw the ball 70% of the time. So that's why you're going to get little shitty rush yards and rushing stats. 9 returning starters on offense. Just mentioned Aiden O'Connell. He's got over 2,000 yards, 12 touchdowns. Also 8 picks, which comes with the pass. Running back, don't need to talk about because he doesn't do shit. David Bell, over 1,000 yards already. We're in like week 10. 6th in the NCAA in reception yards, 64 catches. Now, don't forget, they got another wideout. He was a 4-star in the 2019 class, Milton Wright. He's a junior also. He's got almost 400 yards and a few touchdowns, but that guy will do some damage too if you're going to double up on Bell. So the way I see this is DNs got to get pressure, and basically you sell out on the pass. I mean, you guys see any other angle to this?
A couple things.
Go ahead. Somebody talk.
I couldn't hear Shawn there for a second. There's a couple things. Well, we were talking about Rajay Mitchell not really being on stat sheet. He certainly won't be against Purdue. We're going to be doing a lot of, no more than 2 linebackers on the field, probably most of the game, which would pretty much rule him out, I would think. They'll rotate Simon and Steele, and Steele's coming along great. I'm happy to see that. We continue to get time. It looks like it'd be a lot of running nickel, but there's going to be a lot of times we're going to be in dime, when they're just going 4 or 5 wide. So we're going to need 6 DBs on the field. So trying to keep a 4-man rush, the numbers will be what they are.
Yeah. What do you think, Shawn?
Oh, yeah. They're going to pass. They're going to have to pass. These guys play hard. This could end up being our toughest game up on the schedule. Cannot overlook these guys. And with that, David Bell, and like Jeff alluded to earlier, or didn't allude to, but I mentioned it, we have a knack for making a dude look like a stud. And this David Bell scared the shit out of me. As one of those 200-yard games against us too, and we got to figure out a way to stop that. We're gonna need that O-line to get home, and we're gonna need that secondary to play like they've been there before.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's a question of who do you put on him? Do you put the freshman Denzel Burke, or do you put the seasoned guy Cam Brown? That's going to be interesting. So jumping over to the defense, their defense is good. I'm surprised. They average 18 points a game allowed. That's number 16 in the country. They allow 330 total yards, 185 passing, 144 rushing. That is your key note right there. 53rd in the country rushing allowed. They allow 5.38 yards per play, also 53rd. They did give up almost $150 to Kenneth Walker, K9, from Michigan State, but they've been pretty sound on defense, surprisingly. I mean, Purdue, you don't really think about a strong defense, but they got 9 returning starters. George Karlaftis, obviously the stud there. He's going to be a first-round draft pick. He's gone after this year. He only has 2.5 sacks on the stat sheet and a couple of TFLs, but This guy makes pressure. He is a pressure creator on your quarterback, even though he may not get credit for all the knockdown passes and forced fumbles and all that shit. That dude, he's a real stud. Senior linebacker Jalen Alexander, he's their leading tackler, and then their safety junior Cam Allen is leader in INTs. These guys run basically a cover 4 most of the time, about 60% of the time, so they're sitting back in coverage. That's why you can run against them. And they only blitz about 18% of the time, so they're relying on that front 4 to get home and cause the pressure so that everybody else can sit back in coverage and make a quarterback, pat the ball and look around a little bit. You guys, Shawn, you got thoughts on this Purdue D? You see anything against Michigan State that causes you concern?
I think they play great as a unit. I think they all go to the ball. They tackle well. To me, for a lot of that game, it seemed like Sparty's Heisman boy was getting shut down a bit. And they were keen on that. I think it's. I think that's a big concern. And I think we're going to need to. This is a game I really want to come out and establish that run.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking the same. What do you think, Jeff?
I think you got a dominant 4-man defensive line. What you want to do to try to wear them down is you want to run at them. So it all goes hand in hand. I mean, teams try to attack us the same way, I think, sometimes. But DBs they're going to be slinging the ball. We're going to be playing tough defense. We got to run the ball. We're going to have to establish the run. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. Do we have a early forecast for? We're in West, or we're home, right? We got them at home.
St. Columbus, yeah. Sorry, I don't have my Doppler up.
Well, that shitty weather can dictate, kind of how the game goes. But hopefully it's kind of maybe a little wet or a little cold, windy. Maybe knock their passing game down. We can run the ball better than they can. Beat them up a little bit.
Yeah, I think this is heavy run, and you got to empty the bench, Tony Alford. This is not a 30 carries for one guy kind of game. This is let's dice it up. Use Teague. We know what Teague is. He's a battering ram. Same with Miyan. Miyan's a battering ram. Let's fucking get the O-line healthy. Obviously, that's key first. But from there, we need to utilize everybody in that running back room. We're without Crowley, so let's fucking hammer away. So, jumping into these score predictions. You guys see this spread? It's at 19. How do you feel about that? You feel a little queasy?
I'm definitely queasy on that.
Me too.
I've watched Ohio State's offense look last couple of weeks, frankly.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
Would it settle your stomach to know that the over/under is 66.5?
Settle it in what way? I think that's
to know that we're going to give up 66 fucking points.
I don't think it's coming close to that either.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Who's got a score? Jeff, you got a score? Shawn, you got a score?
Ooh,
I got a score.
It's early.
34-20. Buckeyes.
Ooh. Tight one.
That cover, that 19 is stiff.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Well, I think we get it done. 3 touchdowns. 31-10.
Are you telling me?
I'm telling you.
10. You got it. 31-10, the under and the cover. I'm going 47-20. I think that defense gets fucking squashed. I think we run all over them in the first half. We set the tone, and eventually they realize, oh, we got to start playing the run. Then we pop them over the top. Don't forget, Garrett Wilson will be back. So we're at full power.
Is that guaranteed? Is that confirmed, or are we just assuming 1 week would be enough?
All but confirmed. It was a concussion protocol kind of situation.
Sure, but they're never. Hopefully, they're smart about being cautious with it too, not rushing him back. We can.
Oh, of course.
We're not like struggling where we need.
We don't need him to beat Purdue, but it'd be nice.
Sure. I mean, yeah, to have our offense at full capacity, but not at the risk of him rushing something back. But hopefully, yeah, of course, they're not going to tell us the details, nor do we really need to know. But it'd be nice to know. Hopefully, he's healthy, and hopefully, can come back 100%. Because they just saw it in Njigba. They just watched that tape and like, damn, if we don't cover the slot, he's going to kill us. And they already know what these two can do.
But you still got to cover the guys outside, though, too.
Exactly. That's something they already know what Garrett and Chris are about. They're seeing in Njigba having these games. It helps the overall appearance of the offense as an overall threat. When you see these big popping games from the third guy or the fourth guy, or, the running back, the tight end has 2 touchdowns in a game.
Sorry, I got some breaking news I just saw. 52 seconds ago. Florida set to fire defensive coordinator Todd Grantham and offensive line coach John Hevesi. Wow. Heads are rolling. This is what you do right before you get fired as a head coach.
Mullen, he's like, ain't me. No. It's y'all. Y'all got to go. Y'all got to get up out of here.
Right. So,
dude, look, I got rid of the problem. You keep me around. I'll make sure the problem gets out of here.
Yeah. I promise I'll start carrying next year. Promise I won't look for any NFL jobs in the off season. Shawn, let's go to our Microscopes back offense for you.
I'm going to go with Luke Wypler, however you want to say it.
Oh, I like it.
I think he needs to call a good game on that O-line. I just feel like guys are penetrating in. I don't know if it's missed assignments or they're getting underneath our big boys or what it is, but I'm going to kind of put that on Wypler. I don't even think he was the weak link. Getting blown by most of the time. Even though he does sometimes. But, it's his responsibility to call it. It's a tough spot there at center. So you call the coverage, you call the blocking, and let's see. O-line needs to play better. And I'm counting on him to get all those NFL guys in line.
Credit for the fumble recovery, by the way, in the fourth quarter. Yeah. Late. Jeff, what do you have on offense?
Garrett Wilson. Let me see 100% back to the normal Garrett Wilson making an impact. Number 5.
Okay. I'm going Miyan. I think
my second choice.
Although Travion will get the start, I think Miyan is due for a big game. It's been quite a while. So let's see him get some, let's say 10 carries. How's that sound? 10 to 12. Let's see a little more balance out of that running back room, and not just a heavy dose of one guy. So defense.
And 1 second, I know we're not supposed to take Stroud as a spotlight anymore.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
I am going to be looking at him. The mechanics in that need to be better, and the presence in that pocket needs to be better. So,
all right.
I'll be watching him. There'll be more angst watching him because you see, because Shawn, you're right. The mechanics are off, and he's not. Throws are not on point like he was before. Like you said, he's a redshirt freshman riding the wave. He's a little inconsistent, just like every freshman quarterback is. It seems. Even Bryce Young at Alabama is not. He's not Jalen Hurst or Jalen Hurts at every play. So.
All right, so defense, microscopes. I'm going with Denzel Burke. I think this is going to be a big coming out party for him. I think he's going to be the guy on David Bell most of the day, maybe with a little safety help over the top on the deep balls and shit. But I'm going Burke.
He'll be asking for it. He'll be asking for it.
Oh, he's not gonna fucking shy away from it. You know that. So that's my guy. I'm sticking with DB. Let's go, Shawn. Shawn, what do you have on defense?
I'm going with my boy Bryson Shaw. Just like you said, with some safety help.
Your boy.
I need Shaw to provide that help. So I think it's going to be a handful for anybody to keep that kid in line from Purdue. So I'm expecting some safety help, and Shaw with the pick. You heard it here first.
Ooh, that would be a big play, and probably his first big play of the season. Jeff, what do you have on defense?
Well, I think we're definitely going to need to, you're going to need to focus on the pass rush, and your guys covering down the field. If they're going to be throwing the ball, say 50 times, 60 times, maybe. You guys both pick defensive backs. I'm going to go back to the defensive line, and I'll go back to Zach Harrison.
There you go.
You got Tyreek Smith is now showing good tape. Now you're not going to just be able to stay, committed to the one side with Zack. They're going to start moving back over to Tyreek. Zach's going to be back on one-on-ones on the tackles. Pick a rush end, but I'm going to go with Zach Harrison again this week.
Do you think we'll move into some like rushmen, like the way they pass so much?
Yes.
Getting four of those guys on the field?
That makes a lot of sense.
I think we see it this week, because obvious passing downs are going to be real obvious in this game.
I don't think they've really used that much this year.
We
haven't seen more than two DNs on the field.
Can you imagine old Larry Johnson? He's got that shit in his back pocket. He's just been waiting. It's that ace of spades. He's just been waiting to throw that down.
That's what they do, like late in the season when they don't show something on tape, they save it for a big game. Yeah.
Throw JTT down in the middle.
Yeah.
Wreaking havoc.
Yeah. All right, so
it'd be nice to see it. It'd be nice to show it, just to flash it, and then maybe don't show it again for another game or two.
Well, we also need to win every game. So yeah. I mean, if it's called for, you got to fucking use it.
But the last time when that Rushman package was at its apex, that was 4 now NFL defensive linemen. Those are 4. We had, I'm not sure if we have 4 that are going to be 4 NFL impact players. So it may not be exactly the same results as we used to get back in, was that 16, 17?
Yeah.
So,
all right.
But anyways, it'd be nice to break it out. I think this would be the game to do it, because we know how they're coming at us.
Yeah. So let's talk a little Week 10 recap in college football. So the Buckeyes are probably going to have 3 ranked teams to finish out this season. And that's before we get to the Big Ten championship game, which whoever that might be, Wisconsin, probably is going to be ranked as well. So we're looking at possibly 4 ranked teams to finish the year. Just want to throw that nugget out. Michigan State and Purdue, you guys want to run through that? Michigan State was favored by 3. Everybody told them this was, a trap game, and they didn't listen, did they? Shawn,
it wasn't. It wasn't a trap game, and that's probably what pissed Purdue off. This is a game where Purdue thought, it ain't a fucking trap game. We're better than these guys. We can beat these guys. And that's what they did. They didn't come out, and, I don't feel that Sparty got caught off guard a bit in this game. I think they just got their punched in the mouth and got their asses kicked.
Okay. 40-29, yeah. Hard to argue with that. Jeff, take?
Definitely.
Hold on.
Notice, I've been watching Purdue go up and down.
Can you rewind that a little bit? We lost you there for about 30 seconds.
Just saying, just looking at the score before I saw the final before I ended up seeing any part of the game, I was just shocked. And kind of take notice that they were able to put up 40 and pretty much hold in check the best running back in the country. So impressive. But then they have the shit games, like you said, like they're the ultimate. I wouldn't want to play them in West Lafayette, being number 2, number 5, number 6, anything. But we'll get them at home. They don't have nearly the juice. So.
Right. All right. Let's see what else. Let's go through these quickly. LSU at Bama. Bama was favored by 29 at home. This fucking game was down to the wire with a garbage LSU team. Ends up 2014. Bama comes away, escapes their own stadium, you might say, with a win. You guys see any of this?
Yes, I enjoyed this game. This looked like an old LSU. If you didn't look at the numbers in front of the teams when they show the score, you'd be like, "Oh, this is like this is a 6 years ago LSU Bama." No, it was a good game. In the fact that it was like a typical SEC game at night, fake punts and all kinds of shit. Coach O, fucking swamp monster on the sidelines going crazy, throwing down the hammer repeatedly after that fake punt. He was definitely juiced up for the game. That was a good game, but that was your number 2 team in the country. It's not very impressive on their end. 29 was the largest spread ever in the last decade of them playing. Or no, since 78. They said since 78. That was the largest spread in that game.
Shawn, you got any takeaways from that one?
I did not watch it. Saw brief highlights on it, but I don't know. It just goes to kind of show me that everybody looks pretty normal outside of Georgia.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much it.
And especially
Bama's not immune to this.
Right, especially with a first-year quarterback. Tulsa, Cincy, another close one that had a huge spread. Cincy was favored by 22, ends up 28-20 at home. We don't need to spend much time on it. I didn't spend any.
Tulsa had a chance.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they barely skipped away. Like that caught my eye, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I couldn't get to it before the end of the game. I was trying to catch the last couple plays.
Yeah,
I want to like Cincinnati, but this type of shit, Cincy, you can't afford this type of stuff.
No.
I'm sorry, man. You're playing garbage teams. You need to blow them out.
Yep. And they haven't done that at all in the schedule.
No, they had bigger wins against Notre Dame than they did against Navy. The committee put them at 6 to begin with, just so they don't have to worry about jumping over them. They could have put them at 4, and they could have just leapfrogged. But now at 6, they can keep them at 6 forever.
They would have had to do extraordinary things to move up from 6. Yeah. And that's not happening.
And several people in front losing. Us losing a second, Bama losing a second, that type of stuff.
Yeah. Oregon. So, Navy at Notre Dame, another one. Notre Dame wins. Glad I didn't.
Number 10 in the country.
Again, I say it for the 3rd week in a fucking row. They keep hanging around. One loss Notre Dame is going to carry some weight into that CFP meeting room every fucking Tuesday.
I don't know, though. I mean, you're going to go with an undefeated Cincy and a 1-loss Notre Dame, and that 1 loss. Cincy, to me, is kind of hanging Notre Dame up.
Maybe, but I don't have Notre Dame's schedule in front of me.
Yes. In the perfect world, Shawn, you're right. It should. That should keep Notre Dame out. Cincinnati should be, as long as Cincinnati stays undefeated, they should keep Notre Dame out.
But you can say the same thing about Ohio State and Oregon. If we win out against 3 ranked teams and Oregon beat us in our home, we're probably going to jump them. We're probably going to jump them.
Yeah, but we're going to win out against 3 ranked teams. You just said it.
I know.
Notre Dame going to win out against Navy and a couple other bums. Georgia Tech, Stanford. Wow.
And not being a
That ain't the
conference champion will count again.
I understand. I'm just saying.
Joe, Oregon. If Oregon wins out and we win out, Oregon should be in front of us.
No, they will not be because they're not going to win out against ranked teams.
Yeah, I know. We're going to have a much better schedule. It just, if you have, I guess our loss was better than theirs. So,
but they fucking struggled with UW
they
at Washington, 26-16. That was a close fucking game.
In Utah is going to get. I want to watch that game. You see what Utah did to? What the hell did they play the other night? Oh, Stanford. Yeah, Utah put up like 55 on Stanford. Like 55-6.
Stanford sucks.
Undefeated Wake Forest put up 55 and lost.
Right. Yeah, because we were paying attention to that one. Obviously,
that was a nice game.
I'm glad
Georgia
can go away now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, let's go back to reality, folks.
Really, Wake Forest fucking around and trying to get in this undefeated Power 5.
Cincy has better chances than fucking Wake Forest, for Christ's sake. And Cincy's in a Power 5 conference. Fuck. I mean, Wake Forest is in a Power 5 conference. But nobody respects it. ACC, fuck yourself. Week 10. Are we in week 10? No, this is week 11 we're jumping into. God damn it. Week 10 went by fast. Week 11. Let's start it off in the Big 10. We got the Wolverines going to Penn State. Penn State favored by 1 point. The over-under is 52.5.
Oh, we got a whiteout. Happy Valley. It's at night, I'm sure, right?
Ooh,
I would imagine
it has to be.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure.
It's not big noon. It's not big noon.
It is noon.
Is it?
Yep. God damn it, Maverick.
But that's not on Fox's big noon.
ABC.
ABC,
So,
yeah.
Oh, ABC.
And we're on right after that on ABC. Always be closing.
It's going to be a small crowd starting. You have a lot of people that turn that game off.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's see. I see this over-under dropping already to 48, and the line is even according to Espen.
Wonder what the weather's going to be.
Four-letter fucks. Yeah, I don't know.
You said that it dropped already, and in a couple of days it dropped 3 points.
No, today. Spreads came out today. It dropped 1 point, and
People
the over-under.
I thought the over-under was 3. Went down 3 today.
Yeah, it went down 4.5 actually.
I like Penn State here. Harbaugh doesn't win against teams on the road.
I agree with
State's
you.
better than their record.
That Penn State defense is real.
Yeah, it is. And with Clifford in there, they'll do enough, I think. They laid the one egg against Illinois. They played us tough. So
they got somebody that can cover Dotson.
Frankly, that would probably be Jim Harbaugh's statement win if he were to come out of that with a win. Has he got a better win than that in 7 years?
Oh, well, Penn State's not ranked, so that's very possible.
That's true.
He should win that. Yeah. Let's go Maryland. I'm sorry, Jeff, do you have a take on that game?
Just Penn State at home, like you said, like everything you guys just said. -1, you give them. I'll take it.
Or even, whatever. Yeah.
Even. Taking Penn State. It's an easy pick. That's right.
I like that defense, man, especially at home. The thing is, can you keep them motivated when there's really nothing to play for other than a shit bowl game?
It's fucking Michigan, though.
3 losses.
How good of a salesman is Franklin? How is he selling that to his team?
I don't know. Ask USC.
But I
think a big win here could, really help Franklin's marketability.
Oh yeah.
Resume.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Resume
Oh, yeah.
builder. But I am going to be paying really good attention to Michigan's run game. If they can run on Penn State at will, and push them around.
Well, they're
That's what
down
I'll be
to
looking for.
one guy now. That Quorum. He may be back, but that Quorum left the game. He got hurt early, I think.
Yeah.
Haskins carried it. Yeah.
But I didn't know if he came back in that game.
I don't know why they played J.J. McCarthy so fucking much, but not my problem. So let's go Maryland at Michigan State. Sparty favored by 14, over under 65.5. I don't know what to say about that. Michigan State.
I'd take the points with Maryland.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
College Park.
Sparty to me is probably super pissed. They're gonna win, but they're gonna be trying too hard, and they're gonna step on their dick on offense a couple times. But they should win fairly easy. But I don't think anyone's gonna think, wow, they're back.
Right. Yeah, little Talia is probably not going to carry the day in East Landfill. Not sure the 65.5 is legit. I think I'd take the under on that total. But so I just want to touch on a couple of other ranked teams. Over under. I mean, Oklahoma favored by 5 points at Baylor. Over under 61.5. I don't know a lot about Baylor. I think that Dave Aranda, he's the former defensive coordinator at LSU, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Been around for a while. I think he's got that team in a solid direction. That's a tight one. And these conference games in the Big 12 are usually shootouts. I would probably lean over on that total. And I don't know that. I think that freshman Caleb Williams is due for an egg. What do you think, Jeff?
This is big noon on Fox. I'm picking the home dog, Baylor Bears.
Okay, I like it.
You give them 5 points. Yeah, Baylor at home. I think
ESPN's got 6 right now.
Okay,
I'll take 6.
There you go. That's a better number.
Yeah.
They lost to TCU. They did lose to TCU, but they're 7-2 on the season.
You're right. Randall's a good coach, I think.
TCU, that was.
TCU fired their fucking coach in the middle of the week. When you do that, I mean, all shit's out the window. You can't plan anything. Yeah, I agree with you guys. Though I'm going Baylor on that one. I think that's going to be a ball game, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair as usual. 2 more. We got Georgia favored by 21 at Tennessee. Over under is 54.5. I'm going heavy Georgia. Tennessee again will get embarrassed at home. Let me know if you've heard that story before.
Yeah, they will.
Probably a.
Who's quarterback for Tennessee now? Is it still Joe Milton? Or they moved on from the Michigan?
I don't know. They did just beat Kentucky, though, 45-42. Hendon Hooker. That fucking Hooker.
Kentucky was never any good. So,
they got Will Levis.
Signature win.
Will Levis is Kentucky's quarterback.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad this year.
Did a little on us.
Georgia rolls big. I don't know, Georgia by 100, whatever.
Yeah, you're going to see about 3 Tennessee quarterbacks.
Yeah, because the others are going to get knocked out probably.
Yeah, they might be on the hospital trip.
All right, last one. We got Wazoo at Oregon. Oregon favored by 16, over under 60.5. I just brought this game up, not that we know anything about Pac-12 football, but just because Oregon is ranked ahead of us, that's the only reason I brought it to the table.
So at home game, 16.5 favorite at home?
Yeah, ESPN has it at 14. I don't know what's going on with that line. And the over-under's dropped a lot. I guess it depends on what book you go with.
At 16, I'd take Washington with the points. You get down to 14.
Yeah.
I think Oregon might be a 2-touchdown better. So.
Yeah, I don't know much about Washington State since Leach left there. They're 5-4.
They fired their coach as well. He wouldn't to get the vax, so they.
Oh, that's right. That's right. State employee.
Yeah.
That'll teach you to follow rules.
So things are going great. Yeah. No,
All right.
Wazoo's not.
All right, so let's go quickly around the horn with our new CFP top 4 if the season ended today. Jeff.
Georgia 1. Oregon 2. Oklahoma 3. Ohio State 4.
Whoa. Wow. Still keeping Bama out. Okay. Can you repeat that real quick?
Yeah. Georgia 1.
Oklahoma 2.
Oklahoma.
I'm tracking all this stuff.
Oregon 2. Oklahoma 3.
Oh.
Ohio State 4.
Okay. Cincy out.
Are you asking me what I think it would be, or what I think they'll do on Tuesday?
I gave you
yours.
Yeah, that's why I gave you my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Obviously, Georgia's 1. I'm gonna go with Alabama 2, Ohio State 3, Oklahoma 4.
You got Oregon at 2 also?
No, I don't have Oregon in mind.
Okay.
Georgia, Bama, Ohio State, Oklahoma.
Okay. All right. I'm going Georgia, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Bama. I think Ohio State moves up. Mostly because Michigan State lost. And I'm not convinced of OU. I actually probably should have OU at 4 because I would take Bama over them if this was a power rankings kind of situation.
So, I mean, 9-0 is 9-0.
Well, is it?
I mean, you're in a Power 5 conference. 9-0 is 9-0, just like Wake Forest is 9-0. If Wake Forest went to 11-0, 12-0, they have to be talked about because of the alliance.
Big 12 to me is definitively the third best conference in football. The Pac and the ACC aren't even close to it.
Right. So you have to take an undefeated, leader of that conference as legit. I don't think Oklahoma. I don't know how they keep winning. I don't think Oklahoma's that good, but they do keep winning, so they have to be paid attention to.
Right.
We're all picking that to change this weekend. Now they lose at Baylor.
I think the committee wants them to lose too, because everyone knows that if they get in, they're going to get blown out by somebody.
Mm-hmm. Right, but they carry a lot of eyeballs to the TVs.
That's why you can't leave them. You can't leave them out. But they open up at 8 in that poll. In the rankings, they open up at 8 being undefeated. How many one-loss teams are in front of them?
That tells you how well the committee respects the Big 12.
Yeah, they're seeing what we're talking about. They say they keep winning, but they shouldn't be.
Hey, just a couple years, they'll be able to get shoehorned into the playoffs when they're in the SEC.
When we go to 12, yeah. Well, everybody that we're talking about right now will be in every year.
Yeah.
We won't be debating if Alabama wins out, will they take Ohio State's spot? No, they're both going to be in 12. Right. It's like who gets a home game and who gets a bye. That's what they're going to be fighting for. That's what the jockeying will be in a couple years.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited to have a home playoff game though. That's going to be wild. You'd like to get a bye the way they talked about it. You'd like to get a bye first, but having a home playoff game in college.
Not sure they're ever going to go that direction, dude. Those bowl games, they got a lot of money wrapped up in those sponsors, and those bowl games love their money.
They'll figure it out.
They'll let those contracts expire and won't get renewed. It might take a couple years. But.
All right.
You're right, though. You're right. Those sponsors, some of them can get tied in for a decade. Like Tostitos or something with the Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah. All right, good show, boys. As always, folks, we appreciate you listening. Hit us up on all the social media platforms. Again, hit the supply store, the BuckeyeCast.com. Free shipping. We're going to extend that through the end of the season so you can get your Beat Sparty and Beat Michigan shirts, all the good stuff you need. Big games are coming up. This is November, so get them in there. Jeff and Shawn, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Shawn, get well soon.
Yeah, buddy.
Working on it.
I love you.
Thanks.
Bye.